Hey backpackers, this is Juan from Juan Backpacks. I'm here to talk about my clothing system that I'll be using on the High Sierra Trail in just a few weeks from now. So I'm really excited about it, and I call it a clothing system because it really is a system that integrates a lot of ideas and can adjust to a lot of different weather conditions. I've used it in Sierra before. Went on my John Muir Trail hike last year, 22 days on the John Muir Trail, and it worked perfectly, and I've made a couple tiny adjustments, but this is pretty much what it's going to be for the High Sierra Trail. If you want to check out the weights and so forth, check out my lighter pack link below. You can see the weights of all the items. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail on my items. A lot of them I do have other reviews, other first looks, things like that on my videos. So I'm not going to do like any in-depth stuff on any particular item, more just about the system as a whole. And I think that's the important key here. So let's dive into first the worn clothing, and then we'll talk about the pack clothing, and then how those pack items integrate in with my other clothing to create this system that goes across a lot of different weather conditions, a lot of different temperature changes as well. So here you go. Let's first start at the head, go to the toe. This is my Outdoor Research Sunrunner hat. It's got a nice vent on the side. It's got a shield around the back. I've got a review about this on my website. I'm going to use this again because I found it very useful because of the ability to release heat from the hat, but yet protect from the sun on my neck and other areas. So it's an awesome kind of hat, and I'm going to be using this on the High Sierra Trail again. The shirt I'm using is a Silver Ridge 2 by Columbia. Very light shirt. It has venting. It has roll up and button up sleeves, so you can make it short sleeve or long sleeve. I found this collared shirt to be extremely comfortable when I'm hiking, and it also provides some wind protection as well. And so I really like this shirt for hiking. Very cool when you're hiking. Underwear wise, I just wear these basic little Hanes sport briefs, nothing special here. Odor protection, wicking, so it is a sport brief. I don't really worry about chafing. A lot of folks have issues with that. I don't, so I can use about anything, and this is what I choose to use because it's cheaper. So that's my underwear. I'm using a pair of really light running shorts that are 5-inch running shorts. I love to wear shorts when I hike. Especially in the summer, and these are, I like shorter ones. These are the 5-inch, and they're actually a brand that I just got from Amazon. It's like Easy Run. I found them to be great. I trail run in them. I do all kinds of hiking in them. They're light and they quick dry as well, so they're awesome. Again, lighter pack link if you want to know how much they weigh. On my feet, my socks. I'm going to use Bridgedale hiking socks, quarter length. I have another video on my website about why I switched from Darn Toughs to the Bridgedales and how I made that comparison. So you can check that out for detail. But I love Bridgedale socks, so I'll be wearing a pair on my feet when I'm backpacking in the Sierra, again on the High Sierra Trail. On my feet, Lone Peak 5.0s. Buying up the last of them on Amazon, pretty darn cheap too. I hiked in the 5.0s on the John Muir Trail. They were excellent for me. My feet felt great in them. I had absolutely no problems with even hot spotting or anything. So I'm going to go with these shoes again. Love the zero drop, love the toe spread. That's actually the kind of shoes that I wear every day. Are these barefoot style shoes, even to work. So I love zero drop, love wide toe boxes that let my toes spread out. So I'm going with the 5.0s again and getting them real cheap on Amazon. This is a brand new pair, new treads and everything. My other treads are pretty worn out. I've gone through 2 pairs. And then also I wear gaiters. I really like gaiters in the Sierra because there's a lot of grit, a lot of sand, a lot of rock, small pebbles and so forth on the trail. And so it just keeps that debris from getting into your sock. Keeps also grit from getting into your shoe. It keeps grit from getting in there too, that works its way into your socks a lot of times. And I think a lot of times that's what can cause some abrasion on your feet and maybe cause some hot spotting. So I really like the gaiters. I'm using the ones made for Ultra because they connect good. I don't have any problems with it. So I'm using the Ultra gaiters too. So let's go ahead now. We looked at the worn clothing, so that's what I'd be hiking in every day. I don't take any other clothing, no extra pairs of shorts to, to change into, nothing like that. That's basically what I got to hike in. So let's go to my packed clothing right now and see what I got in that pile over here. So my packed clothing, starting at the head again, is really just a really light Kuiu hat. This thing is like, I think it's like just around an ounce. I think it's actually less than an ounce. And again, my lighter pack is there. It's a merino wool, and so it's really lightweight, but I really like it because it actually, when you got to wear it when it's cold, it actually allows, when you're hiking, the sweat to wick out really nicely, and that's you can feel the moisture on the outside of the hat when you're hiking, and then it just kind of evaporates off the top of the hat, so it doesn't make you cold. So it's not evaporating kind of out of the hat, it's like pulling the water out the outside, make it a layer of water, and then that moisture is just wicking off. Love this hat. Great for sleeping too if it gets really cold out at night. Love that hat. I take an extra pair of socks, and this is again Bridgedale socks, the same pair that I'm hiking in, different colors, so I can keep track of which one I'm using which day. Little trick there. So what I usually do is rinse out my socks at the end of the day, hang them up to dry, maybe put them on my pack the next day to dry, so that every day I have a clean, pair of socks to change into in the morning before I start the hike. So an extra pair of Bridgedale socks. In addition to an extra pair of Bridgedale socks, I also take an extra pair of Hanes underwear. And again, same scenario. I take one extra pair, one that I'm wearing. I wash out one, get it ready for the next day, so I have a nice clean pair of underwear to be starting out a hike in, and then clean out the other one at the end of the day. So just keep washing and cycling through. I like sleep socks, and so this is another packed item for me. I actually pared down. I used to have a big pair of sleep socks, like 3 ounces, and so really all I need is just something that covers my feet. I don't need something that goes up on my ankle and so forth, I've figured out. And so this is kind of a stand-in right now because I want to get some type of a wool sock that's maybe a little bit thicker, but it's the same concept, just something to fit over my feet, because I also have sleep clothes in my packed gear, and let's take a look at that. My sleep clothes are a Cocotat merino wool, very warm, thin, light, and you'll see that in my lighter pack, fairly light for the warmth, and it's long pants, and so that's why I use shorter socks, because I really don't need long socks because I got long pants, these long base layer to wear to sleep in. And then also the same thing, I've got a long sleeve base layer merino wool here, and I can sleep in this. So these are normally my sleep clothes. Where this falls into my system for in the Sierra, let's say we got a really cold day and my shorts just aren't cutting it. I can always just wear these as a base layer underneath my shorts, kind of like tights, and then just hike in these and I'll stay warm. And I know they'll be warm because I've used them many times to do that, and when it gets really cold out. And so I use these merino wool for sleeping. But if I'm not, if I need to, I can use it for a base layer if the temperature drops and I need it while I'm out hiking or while I'm in camp, something like that. So again, double duty on the sleep clothes and base layer. The mid layer for my shirt is actually a Kuiu product. It's super light. I think this thing, and again, my lighter pack's below, is around 5 ounces. It's a merino wool, basically hoodie, and it's super light. It's got this very, very nice fuzzy inside, and then obviously on the outside it's just kind of this knit material, or knit. And then basically I like it because it's soft against my skin. If I want to use it for a base layer, I can. I also like it because it is a hoodie. And so if I need a hood in the evening or something like that, if I'm using this as a mid layer, I'll actually use it as a mid layer if it gets really cold. This is where the system comes in. And it's a good mid layer when it gets really cold, but it's also a great outer active layer for when you're hiking. It really does an excellent job because this company specializes in gear for backcountry hunting and long range, like hunting where you're backpacking out in and staying for days at a time and maybe weeks. And so this Kuiu product is awesome. It's super light, around 5+ ounces. And so I can't say enough about it. I used it in Sierra last year. It will be my active outer layer for hiking early in the morning, which is how I used it before. And then if it gets really cold in camp, I can use this as a mid layer and throw my puffy on top of it. And that's the next item in my pack, is my puffy. It's a down puffy 850 fill. This is super light. I think it's just over 7 ounces. Again, my lighter pack is below. Again, another KUIU product. It's a high-end product. They're kind of pricey, quite honestly, but you know, in this case, you're getting what you pay for. I can literally, when I put this puffy on, I can feel the heat reflecting back into my body. Actually, it almost feels like a heater when I do that. And I use this as a in-camp kind of thing to keep me warm if it's cold in the evening when it gets toward, you know, sun's going down and so forth in the Sierra. It does get cold, especially when you're camping out at 10,500. I've camped out as high as 12,500. And so it's really good for that use. And like I said, I can pair it up with my other KUIU product, that hoodie, to use the hoodie as a mid layer. So I've got my shirt on, I've got my hoodie on, and then I've got this on top in the camp, and I'm super warm and good to go. So that's how I use the puffy. And I can sleep in it too. So if it gets super cold, and I've done that. Actually, 2 weekends ago, I was backpacking on the Allegheny Front Trail in Pennsylvania, and it got really cold one night, really cold, surprisingly cold. I think it was in the low 40s, as a matter of fact, in the mountains there, and I literally had to put on that puffy in order to stay warm, and it kept me super warm. So, you know, when I was sleeping, not when I was hiking. So on top of the puffy, I could use, this is my rain gear right here. We'll back up a second. This is my rain jacket. It's just a very simple frog top. I don't use the bottoms at all. I'm perfectly comfortable in summer hiking, usually in 3-season hiking, with shorts, even if I get a little bit wet. It doesn't bother me, so that's why I do it. I don't take the rain pants. If I felt uncomfortable when it rained like that, I definitely would take my rain pants, but it just doesn't bother me for whatever reason. But I definitely want a jacket for rain because that's how I get miserable. If I get wet, I start to get a little bit miserable. And so I want to keep myself dry. And the Frog Togs is cheap. I can buy a million of these over time. And it's also very light at just over 5 ounces. I think I got a medium here. And the reason I have a medium, actually, it's a little bit big on me. And this is where the system comes in again. I can actually put this over top of my puffy, so that I can hold in more heat if it gets really cold. And I've done that in winter backpacking, as a matter of fact. I'll have on my hiking shirt, the KUIU hoodie as a mid layer, my KUIU puffy as another layer, like a warmth layer on top of that, and then put this on top to further trap heat in there. And so I get my rain jacket, and the way these are fitted too, they're not, you know, form fitted. They're not sport cut, right? They're not narrow at the hips. So that's actually a bonus in using the Frog Tog, because it's roomy enough. If I get a size that works even without all that stuff on, it's still roomy enough where I can put this over top of my puffy, hold in more heat if I have to. And I, like I said, I've done that before. So that's where the system comes in. I can use the rain jacket over top of all my gear to stay extra warm if the temperatures really drop in camp, or if it's raining and it's really, you know, miserable, I can stay nice and dry, and then I'm not miserable. So this is my clothing system. If you have any comments, suggestions, definitely post up below. If you want to see the weights of everything, take a look at my lighter pack link. This is part of about a 13 or plus base weight that I have going for the High Sierra Trail. And so check it out in my lighter pack. Again, if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, go ahead and post below. Be happy to answer your questions. I got to be honest, I really like the system. It's really worked well for me. I've got almost no chinks in that armor in 3-season, and so I'm digging it, and hopefully you'll find this to be useful for you too. So until next time, stop watching YouTube. Get out there and do some backpacking and some hiking. But next time one of my videos comes up, definitely watch my video.